Hello, everyone. Good morning, Neil. Just you today right now, Neil. If you have a question, you can ask me. It's pretty cold today. -3. -3 today. Hello, Patrick. Hello, Frank. Sorry, everybody. I'll be done in just a second. Okay, hello everybody, I am here. So you can ask me your questions if you have questions. I'm probably going to talk about a few things that I want to talk about later. But for right now, the floor is open, is what we say. It means it's open to any questions. Hello, Lucy. Hello, everybody. Hello, Larry. What does clearance mean when you go shopping in the supermarket? Clearance usually means they are trying to clear out some item. So maybe they need to sell it because it's going to expire soon, or they just want to get it out because it's been there too long. You know, whatever. Somehow they want to get rid of some product that they have. So they will put it on a big sale, a much bigger sale than normal. And that's a clearance sale. Okay, so when something is on clearance, it means it's at a very high discount because they want to sell it and get rid of it. Sometimes it happens because they discontinue an item, right? Like they make one item for 1 year, but then they change it to another new model. So they don't make that old model anymore. So now that old model will be on clearance. Okay? Why does clearance have this? It means to clear it out. Right? They have a room with inventory. They want to clear it out. Larry. Well, Joy, maybe you can talk with me next time. Hello, Victor. Hello, Islam. I'm fine. Does accent really matter? It matters. To be clear, it matters. To be perfect, it doesn't matter. Okay? You are thinking about perfect. I am thinking about clear. That just means, can I understand you? All right? Thank you, Islam. You're too nice. What's the difference between sting, string, and stink? Let me say that again, Flavia. The first word is sting. The bee sting, right? The bee has a stinger. It will sting you. Okay, so that's sting, sting, sting. The second one is string. String. Okay, like string, straight, strong. It's that stra sound. Okay, and then the last one is stink. Just like the word think, but with an S in the beginning and a T. There is no best accent. There are 30 different accents at least in the United States alone. I have one of those accents. You can choose this one, and it's very popular to choose because it's a very neutral, common accent. But there are many accents to choose. When it comes to accents, it's not really about best. At least not in my opinion. It's a pretty big country, yeah. There are some countries that are bigger, but yeah, it's a pretty big country. You are not late. I've only been here for about 15 minutes. Do I have any travel plans? No. I wish I could. I wish I could think about that, but right now my life is a little complicated and I'm not really able to think about anything for myself. Excuse me. Can I explain how to use the word would in the past? Okay, sure. Let me do this for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you this page. This is from Butte College. Butte, not but, Butte. Let me show you this page. Here's this page. This is about how to use would and should and could. But there are so many ways to use would, so that's why I'm giving you this page. Let me show it to you. Okay, so here we go. There's a tip sheet here for would, should, and could. All right, so take a look. We have would for asking questions. Would you like some coleslaw? Would you like some milk? Okay, or with who, what, when, why, where, why, and how. How would the neighbors react? What would you do if I sang out of tune? What would you do if I sang out of tune? Famous song. To make polite requests. I would like more coleslaw, please. I would like you to sit down. Okay? Coleslaw is a kind of food, by the way. It's like a kind of salad, we'll call it. Okay? To show a different response if the past had been different. I would have helped you if I had known you were stranded. I would have. That's in the past, right? Like you were asking about the past. So this is one possible way to use it for the past. John would have missed the trail if Mary hadn't waited for him at the stream. Okay, so first Mary waited for him. If she didn't wait, then John would have taken the wrong trail. Okay? Sometimes we use would to tone things down, to make your language a little softer. We say, I would have to say that you're acting a bit immature. If I just say you're immature, that sounds very aggressive. But if I say, I would have to say that I think you're acting a little bit immature, by taking so long and by being so careful about it, it's softer. Okay? To explain an outcome to a hypothetical situation. Should I win $1 million, I would fix up my house, right? So if I had $1 million, I would blah, 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 right? Think of a lottery. And then to show habitual past action. Habitual means something you've done a lot. You do it all the time, right? You regularly do it. Helen would sob means cry. Helen would sob whenever John would leave home. Okay, so in this case, would is like did. Okay, so look how many there are. These are all ways to use would. All of those are ways to use would. All right, that's why I gave you this page. And then if you go down further, they explain all the ways to use should and all the ways to use could. Okay, yeah, there are a lot of ways. All right, but you can use this page, and then you can also use ChatGPT and just ask it to help you practice all of these ways. Okay, you could copy that and send it to ChatGPT and then say, please help me create exercises to practice all of these ways to use would. All right? Oh, you mean their meanings. I thought you were talking about their pronunciation, Flavia. So to sting is a feeling when, for example, a bee will sometimes sting you, right? Ow, the bee stung me, okay? So sting is a feeling. Sometimes when you have a shot, maybe you get a shot at the doctor and you'll say, ooh, that stings, okay? So it's a feeling like it hurts, okay? And on a bee, the thing that they use to hurt you is called a stinger. That's a stinger on the bee. He stings you with his stinger. Then the word string. String is like rope, but it's smaller, right? So I don't think I have any string around here, unfortunately. Let me think. Do I have any string? Yes, I do. So this is kind of like string, okay? It's like rope, but smaller, okay? And I would say if it gets too big, then it becomes rope, all right? All right, then the last word is stink. The word stink means to smell bad. If something stinks, it smells bad, okay? Okay, Zaid Muhammad says, I have a problem. When I learn new vocabulary, I can't use them in conversations. Zaid Muhammad, that's because when you learn new vocabulary, you don't learn them with a context. You're just learning the words. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about a context and then think about the words, right? So, if you're at the market, Zaid, what vocabulary do you need at the market? If you're at the bank, what vocabulary do you need at the bank? If you're talking to your friend, what vocabulary do you need to talk to your friend? Imagine the situation first, and then you can find the vocabulary. Or Imagine the situation first and then learn the vocabulary that goes with that situation. Don't just learn this word and then that word and then that word. Those words have no meaning because there's no relationship, there's no context, right? But if you choose an idea, a topic, then you can learn the words that are part of that topic. Then you'll know how to use them when you want them. Okay? Can I tell you about your essay topic, which is choosing a holiday destination based on the weather with both advantages and disadvantages? I don't know how to tell you about that essay topic. That's a topic you have to do for your essay. I can't do your essay for you. Do I have any tools for situation vocabulary? No. Zaid, did you read my article about vocabulary? Read this article, Zaid. I wrote that. It's all about vocabulary. Read it. If you can't understand it, copy it and then put it in ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to help you understand it. Okay? Which, by the way, I don't know how many languages ChatGPT can do, but if you need it to translate, it can translate into many languages. Like, I ask it to do things in Chinese all the time. So, you can ask it, you can give it my English article, and then if your English is really poor, really low level, then you can ask it to explain it to you in Arabic or in Urdu or in Chinese, whatever language you know. Okay? ChatGPT is really mistaken? No, it's not. I use it every single day, and I assure you it's right 98.9% of the time. It's only wrong about stuff that if you want it to be wrong, it'll be wrong. If you want it to be right, it can be right. You just have to know how to ask it the right way. If you ask it with 3 words, it's going to give you a terrible answer. But if you use a very clear prompt and you say, I need you to help me do this because this, and this. Please remember this, and this. Then it will do a great thing for you. Sometimes it gives you older information, not often. The only time it gives you older information is if that's the most recent data it has. So if you look up data about something, most data, you can't find data for 2026 because it's 2026 now. They don't have the data yet. So they use the data they have, which is from 2020. That's the last time they did a study, right? So that's the most recent data. That doesn't mean it's old or bad. It means that's the most recent one that's accurate. And that anything else would be not accurate. Do I have a paid course? I do. It's on my website. Go to my website. You can find my paid course. It's right here. Yeah, look, I'm a teacher, and I've been a teacher for most of my life, okay? More than 30 years I've been teaching. And I can tell you that as a teacher, There has never been a greater source of information at your fingertips. Just anytime you want information and it's good, it has never been better than now with AI. Okay? You used to have to do the research. You had to go to the library and find each of those books and read them and understand them all yourself. Now you can ask the AI to find the book for you, help you understand it, talk with it, ask questions in case you don't understand it. And you should question it. I don't just accept anything it tells me. I do trust that it is much smarter than most sources of information and much better. And anybody who says otherwise is honestly just wrong. So, if you don't want to use it, don't use it. But I do. And I'm not going to argue about it. Let's see. Next. Waleed, a girl blocked you. A girl you like blocked you. What should you do? Waleed, if a girl blocked you, then she blocked you. Whether you deserved it or not is not really that important. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. Okay, this is called respecting personal decisions, right? She made a personal decision. She did not want to talk to you anymore. So she blocked you. And that sucks. It hurts. But you have to, if you really do like her, if you say you really do like her, then you better respect her decision. Okay? And there's a great song, Waleed. There's a great song that you can go find by Sting. It's called If You Love Somebody, Set Them Free. What that means is what I just said. If you truly love this girl, if you really say you love her, then let her go. Okay? That's the best thing to do. It's like a bird, you know? If you really love it, let it fly free. Okay? So find that song. If you love someone, set them free. All right. And yes, there are plenty of fish in the sea. All right, Waleed? And look, we have a Hello Talk relationship counselor here who's apparently going to tell you to go ahead and find the next one. How did you become a Hello Talk relationship counselor? That's an interesting title. You made it yourself, okay? What qualifies you to be a relationship counselor? How many relationships have you had? I can't see. You look from your profile is only this small, but it looks like you're a pretty young guy. Is it a guy or a girl? I can't even tell. It's too small. I think it's a guy, right? On my screen, all of the profiles are like so tiny that I can't see anything. And you can't click on them to make them bigger. Hello, Ahmad. You're okay. Well, good luck with your matchmaking and relationship course stuff. Relationship counseling. Good luck with that. There are a lot of people on Hello Talk who are looking for relationship counseling, so you'll probably have a lot of work. But I generally find it's not a great idea to give too much personal advice about things like relationships. Usually the advice I give is not about the relationship, it's about you. So when somebody asks me about a relationship, I will tell you what to do for you, but I won't tell you what to do about the relationship. How many topics are important for enhancing vocabulary and speaking? All of them are important for enhancing vocabulary and speaking, Zaid. It just depends on what you want to speak about. Okay? Zaid, everybody in the world has different vocabulary. I am a drummer. See the drums behind me? I'm a drummer. I know a lot of words about drumming that many people don't know those words. Do you know what a paradiddle is? Most people don't know what a paradiddle is unless you're a drummer. Then you do know. All right? So, I know about the topics that are important to me in my life. So what you should do is sit down and write a list of the topics that are important to you in your life. Right? What's important to you? What do you like to do for fun? What hobbies do you have? What interests do you have? Do you like science? Do you like history? Do you like music? Do you like traveling? Write those things down, and those are your topics. Okay? It's called a paradiddle. Paradiddle. It's a hand pattern. It means right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Almost. Yes, I'm still working on my book. I'm just a very slow writer. I'm a slow writer, and I never feel good enough about my writing. I always want to make it better. I always keep trying to make it better. But, Patrick, a lot of the stuff that's in my book is on my blog. So I would say that my blog now probably has, I think about 10 chapters from my book are probably on my blog. Well, Waleed, c'est la vie. Such is life. Be glad that you had the chance to be in love. Every time you get your heart broken, you should feel lucky that you ever had the chance. I've had my heart broken a bunch of times. Never fun, but c'est la vie. C'est la vie. My book is about my teaching ideas, my learning ideas, my English ideas. Mostly it's about that. Do I share them? Yeah, on my blog, it's on my blog. Yeah, they're shared. Karam wants to know what? Celluloid? I don't know what that is. Do you mean seaweed? Never heard of celloweed. Maybe you mean seaweed. Where did you see this word? The word I was just saying. Oh, I don't know what I was just saying. C'est la vie. It's French, Karam. C'est la vie is French. It means that's life. Life is hard. That's life. Okay, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. It's a good one to know. Okay, next one. If someone is the cause of my tiredness, Rizba, both of those are weird. Why would you say I'm made tired or I'm made too tired? Neither of those are common. Neither of those are the natural way to say anything that you would talk about, like being tired. I am tired. He made me tired. They made me tired. I became tired. But I'm made tired, or I'm made too tired. Both are very awkward, very, very awkward, strange ways to talk about being tired. So it's strange. I don't know why you would use either of them. Why is it take medicine instead of have medicine like have food? Good question. Let me think about my answer for a moment. Mocker, I think my answer will be this. Medicine, a long time ago, medicine was not a pill or, something that you would drink, A long time ago, medicine was food. And they would give you a recipe. So you guys know the word recipe, right? Do you know the word recipe? Well, the word recipe, now when we talk about recipes, it always means making food. But a long time ago, the recipe was what the doctor gave you. The doctor gave you a recipe for food that was medicine. So a prescription, pre means before, scription, scribe, means to write. So that means the doctor wrote something and he told you, this is what I'm telling you before, I'm telling you now, this is what you should do later. Okay, so a prescription is what the doctor is telling you to do later. And a long time ago, a prescription was a recipe. It was a list of things to go make food. So when you take the medicine, it's like you're taking the recipe to go make it. That's what I'm going to say is my answer. But also because medicine comes in many forms. So take is a word that covers medicine in many ways. Taking it could be taking it with a pill, or it could be taking it with a liquid, or it could be a shot. Okay? There are many ways to take medicine, right? But eating is just eating. Okay? Or having is just having. That's different. Having is also implies that it's just you. But medicine is sometimes not just you. When you take medicine, sometimes someone's giving you that medicine, right? They give it to you to take. Okay? My blog is here. Here's my blog. Yes, I am from the USA. If you want to use tired in the passive voice, then he was made tired by the blah, blah, blah. He was made tired by the movie. Okay? The movie made him tired. He was made tired by the movie. Okay? Does that answer your question? If you don't want to say who was made, then you would say someone has made me tired. He was made tired by someone. It's still awkward. Sometimes it's a lot easier to just be direct instead of taking the time to learn all this complicated grammar. It's a lot easier to just be direct and say, he did it. He made me tired. If you just say he did it, then you don't have to learn all this passive grammar. You think I'm doing a great job. You appreciate it, but there are only some people in my room. What do you think is the reason? Karam, there are 44 people here right now. That's not terrible. There are usually about 100, over time, it gets to be somewhere around 60 to 90 or 100 people per stream. And I'm not worried about the numbers. I'm not worried about the numbers. If it's 4,400 or 44, it's fine. I'm not here for attention. If useless speakers have many more viewers. Well, useless speakers have more viewers because not everybody here wants to really learn. One. A lot of people here are just here to socialize, flirt, maybe to explore cultures they've never, they've never had a chance to talk to somebody from Canada or America, so they're interested in just hearing. Sometimes you guys just go to listen and hear, what do these people sound like when they talk, But yeah, there are only I would say 10% of the people on Hello Talk are serious about learning. And I would say of the live streams, it's probably less. It's probably like 5% or less of people who do streams that are actually teaching or doing something valuable. The majority of people are just hanging out or just chatting or being silly, and that's fine. I don't really know why you want to spend time there, but that's fine. I laugh at your wounds regarding learning grammar. No, I'm saying that there are times when maybe you could spend 15 or 20 minutes or an hour learning passive this or passive that in order to try to say something in a way that you don't offend someone. Or you could just forget about that and not worry about offending them and just speak. Because sometimes you shouldn't worry so much about offending people. Sometimes when you speak, you're not sometimes, not all the time, but occasionally, you shouldn't consider whether people are going to be offended by what you say. Occasionally, you need to say it because it needs to be said. Right? So, for example, if I'm working at a school and I see a problem that's like a health problem or a safety problem, right? But maybe my boss she's really proud of her school. She loves her school so much that she gets really mad anytime somebody tells her something about her school that's bad. So should I tell her or should I not tell her? Should I try to be really careful about it, or should I just say, hey, I wanted to let you know this is really dangerous? Sometimes you just need to say it and not tiptoe around and be like, excuse me, I'm so sorry, please, can I please tell you something that you don't like? Just say it. Yeah, occasionally being direct and forward and honest is the way to go. Occasionally. Muhammad, you want to speak. If you want to speak, Muhammad, then speak. Start simply. Okay, Muhammad? You can write some words. It looks like you can write. So if you can write a few words, then you can speak a few words. Start with a few words. Can you introduce yourself? Go do that. Introduce yourself to some people. Practice that. Can you talk about yourself, where you're from, what do you do, what do you like, what are your hobbies, what are your interests? Start with that. People feel that the live sessions are not going to be more productive for them. I don't care what people feel. That's not my problem. Muhammad, it's just words, Muhammad. It's just words. It's not a bear. It's not a tiger. It's not a lion. It's not a shark. They're words. Speak, man. I promise it will not bite you like a shark would. Okay, speak. I promise it won't bite you like a bear or a lion or a tiger would. Just speak, man. Nothing will happen. Just speak. It's a very funny thing. When you teach a language, you find out how afraid everyone is. It's so crazy to be afraid to speak. I understand being afraid of heights. Like if you go to a really high place, I understand that fear. I understand if you're afraid of snakes or even spiders. I understand that fear. But I don't understand being afraid of saying something the wrong way. Who cares if you say it the wrong way? You'll figure it out. If you say it the wrong way, fine. You say it the wrong way, and then the next time you know that you can say it another way. That's called learning. That's called learning. So, making mistakes is called progress. Okay? If you learn from them, then that's progress. All right? Every mistake you have is a teacher. Every bad feeling you have is a teacher. So when you're shy, that's a teacher trying to teach you something. When you're embarrassed, that's a teacher trying to teach you something. When you're angry, when you're sad, when you're upset, that's a teacher trying to teach you something. The question is, are you going to listen and are you going to learn? You get really exhausted whenever you have to speak English with a native speaker, your brain. That's normal too. When I have to speak a lot of Chinese, it's also very tiring for me. That's because your brain is working hard. Speaking a language is really, that's some intense brain work. Okay? You always sleep on to cover the whole grammar. I'm not sure what that means, Rishab. I'm not sure what you mean. What does that mean? Sleep on to cover the whole grammar. Hello, Rasha. I'm fine. Being perfect is the problem. Yeah, that is the problem. But actually, it's bigger than that. It's not being perfect that's the problem. The problem is you want everyone to see you only doing good things. You want everyone to see you only being perfect. So the problem is really not that you want to be perfect. The problem is not being perfect. The problem is that you want to be perfect. So it's your ego. Your ego is the reason why you are so worried about your grammar that you won't speak. If you relax your ego and you just say, hey, it's okay to make mistakes. Everybody in the world, there are 8 billion people in the world now, and over history there have been billions and billions more. And every one of those people have made mistakes. There has never been a human without mistakes. Every human has mistakes. So why pretend like you don't? Why try to pretend like you don't have mistakes? You have them, he has them, she has them, we all have them. You think it's a lot to cover the whole of grammar. It is. You're right. It is a lot to cover all of grammar. Don't worry about all of it yet. Just worry about the beginning of it for now. Okay? There is a book I really like I'll tell you guys about. It's called Basic English. Whoops. I should spell English right. Grammar. It's by a company called Saddleback Publishing. That's my favorite grammar book. Of all the grammar books I have, I probably have 60 or 70 grammar books. That one's my favorite because it's the most simple, it's the most fun. I won't say it's fun, but I won't say it's painful. Many grammar books are painful. They're painful to go through. I hate them. Like English Grammar in Use is a great book and a terrible book. It's a great book because it is comprehensive. It has all the answers. But some of the answers they give are hard to explain, are hard to understand, I should say. God, I need to eat today. They're hard to understand. And if your explanation needs another explanation, then that's not a good explanation. So many people, I have so many students who have the book, English Grammar in Use, and they show it to me and they say, can you explain this paragraph to me? I don't understand this paragraph. That means that this book was not really written very well to begin with. So, the other book I recommended is much more basic and simple to understand. Okay? You have a doubt. What's your doubt? You find it really helpful for practicing English. Do you mean my experience or how to access the feature? Risky. Geez, I'm not sure what you were referring to now. Let me think about that. What were you talking about? I think you're talking about grammar. I hate grammar because, well, there are many reasons why I hate it. It's the rules, right? Who likes rules? Right? That's one reason. But the other reason I hate it is just very simple. They are still writing and using the rules. They're very complicated, and they don't need to be anymore, but they still are. So, grammar needs an update, a big update. It hasn't had an update in a long time, and it needs one now, desperately. So that's my big problem with grammar, is there are so many things in grammar that could be explained much more simply, but they aren't. And there is no good reason why, except for they don't want to update it because tradition. Tradition, tradition, tradition. You want to cover advanced grammar. Well, Rishab, you can't run before you walk, and you can't walk before you crawl. You have to crawl first, walk next, run after. Okay? And I can tell by looking at your writing, you are not in the advanced grammar area yet, Rishab. You're in the beginner to intermediate area of grammar. Okay? So there is no good reason for you to look at any advanced grammar right now, because you need to spend more time with your beginning and intermediate grammar. Okay? You shouldn't be writing anything with mistakes. Okay? If you're practicing a language, why practice it incorrectly? So, some people do sometimes type like they know they should type, they should use a capital letter, and they should use a comma, and they should use a period, but they don't, because it's just the internet. It's just the internet. We're just chatting. It doesn't matter, right? It should matter. If you're trying to learn the language, then it should freaking matter. I never understand that. If you are trying to learn the language and do well, then why not always try your best? Always. Never write in a lazy way if you're trying to be better. That's trying to be worse. Okay? You try to speak, you have more mistakes in grammar. Fine. No one cares. Speak anyway. Speak anyway. You don't know when to use blame, guilty, or fault. Yana, it depends on the situation. Sometimes they could be interchangeable. Okay? So if I say, who is to blame or who is at fault? Who is to blame? I'm blaming someone, so that's to blame. I want to blame them. Who is at fault? Oh, it's his fault. He is at fault. He is to blame. Okay? Then you can say they are guilty because they are at fault. They are to blame, so they are guilty. Okay? Oh, that's about ChatGPT. Oh, let me see again. So sorry. You feel it's helpful for practicing English? Yes. Sometimes it's really hard to there's too many. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm so sorry. It's too hard to understand fragmented conversations like this. Try again. Ask me again if you can. All right? I'm sorry. Rishab. Hi, Rishab. I'm the English teacher, Rishab. I'm not the one who needs to struggle with your English. You are, man. So, Rishab, I'm trying to tell you, Rishab, I'm looking at your English and I'm trying to tell you that there is no way that you should be learning any advanced grammar. None. I don't care how much you like it. You're not ready for it because I see your English. It's not ready. That's beginner English, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to insult you. We're here to learn. I'm a teacher. My job as a teacher is to make sure you understand where you are and how to go further. Okay? And where you are is in the beginning, man. If you're in the beginning, then I don't want you to read anything that's advanced because you're not advanced. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Okay? You can't run before you walk. That's very simple. Okay? Okay, let's see. Let's see. What's the next question? How important is it to know collocations compared to knowing synonyms? Those are kind of different things. I think I would say synonyms would be maybe more important to me. Okay. So, again, I think synonyms would be more important to me. Because synonyms are more useful in general. Collocations are a little more specific, right? Collocations are words like heavy rain, okay? Like knowing that you're supposed to use the word heavy with rain, okay? Or make a decision, right? To use the word make with decision. But those are good and those are useful, but synonyms are for every word, right? So I definitely would say synonyms are more important. When you listen to me, I sound like a Padawan. A Padawan would be an apprentice. No, sir. I am a Jedi. Rishab, I have been teaching longer than you have been living. How old are you, Rishab? How old are you? There is no way you got a band 7, man. I'm sorry, but do you want me to correct how many mistakes you've made? Do you want me to do that? I don't think you do. Rishab, I don't know how you got a band 7, but I have done my IELTS exam with band 7 and you are saying I am on down level. All of that is wrong. You should say I have completed my IELTS and achieved a band 7. But you are saying that I'm not at that level. Yes, I am saying that. Okay, man? I don't know how you got that band 7, but you're not a band 7. You look like you're about a band 4, maybe, based on all the mistakes I'm seeing. Okay? And again, I'm not trying to insult you. Okay? I'm not trying to insult you. This is not about me. I don't care. All right? And guess what? It's not about you either, man. If you get upset by what I'm saying, it's because you're saying you're taking it personally. I'm not trying to make it personal. I'm trying to make sure you understand. Okay? You don't care, you're just asking questions. Okay, so what you just wrote, I don't care, period. I am, or I apostrophe am, I'm just asking questions, period. Why didn't you do that? That's a simple thing. Why didn't you write it correctly? Are you just being lazy? Or did you not know? Hello, Madi. Yes, I can hear you. Okay. If you have questions, you can ask me your questions. That's why I'm here. I have been on Hello Talk for more than 12 years. Okay? If you don't know who I am, my name is Teacher Mark. Hi. I have been on Hello Talk for more than 12 years. I am a real English teacher. I have been teaching English since 2009. And I have been teaching since 1994. 1994 I started teaching. Okay? I have 87, almost 88,000 followers here on Hello Talk. I have my own website where I'm a teacher. I have a YouTube channel there. There's my website. And here's my blog. It's not called short form, man. It's not called short form. Rishab, I'm sorry. It's just called wrong. It's not called short form. It's called wrong. Okay. I'm going to move on from Rishab because Rishab doesn't want to listen to me. Rishab thinks that he's a 7-band because he got a 7-band somehow, but there is nothing about your writing that looks like 7-band. I'm sorry. If you show me a 7-band, will I leave Hello Talk? No, I will not. What's the adjective form of parliament? Parliamentary? I think. That's not a word we usually use too much because we don't have a parliament in America, but I believe yeah, parliamentary. I was right. Can you tell me the meaning of this idiom? It's raining cats and dogs. Sure. It means it's raining very heavily, very hard outside. Big, big rain. All right? Nobody really knows where this idiom comes from. It's raining cats and dogs. Nobody really knows. There are some theories, there are some ideas that some people have, but it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is just remember that if it's a really bad rainy day, very heavy rain, then you can say, "Oh wow, it's raining cats and dogs outside." Cats and dogs, not dogs and cats. Cats and dogs. Okay? And the explanation, like I said, there's an old theory I've heard that it's because a long time ago there were many houses that the roof of the house was made of straw, right? It was thatch. It was called thatch. It's like straw that they bound together very tightly, right? And there are still some houses that are made this way, especially in the UK. And so when it would rain very hard, that's what I was told, was that sometimes the cats or the dogs would go on the roof and try to get in the thatch and maybe fall through. I don't know. Now, my own research has said that that's not necessarily that sounds like a story that maybe many people believe, but maybe it never was really true. Okay, so there are some idioms that we don't always know the real story about where they came from. And this is one of them that we're not really sure where it comes from. Okay? Maybe the one who certified you might not be educated. Rishab, that's very possible. Okay, man? There is a big business in this world for the IELTS and for the TOEFL. There's a huge business, especially in India. There's a huge business for these tests. And yeah, you're right. There are a lot of people who are involved in these tests who don't have the right qualifications. They don't have the right credentials or the right knowledge. Okay? It's possible. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. All right? Ryan, 我是美国人。我住在俄亥俄州，在美国中部。Yes, I'm teaching English. You can never equal with natives no matter how hard we study. That's not true. That's not true. You can equal with many natives. Do you think that every native speaker in America speaks like I do? Do you think that every native speaker in the United States speaks well? Do you think they all would get a band 8? No. No. There are many, 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 many native speakers with very poor English. Mostly because they don't care. They're lazy speakers. They're lazy with their language. They just don't care. Okay? So, that means that if you work hard, absolutely you can be better than some natives. Okay? Maybe not better than me, but maybe better than some. Okay? Well, let's see. Is it important to learn about heritage with learning any language? Well, I like that question, Rose. In English, it's very important to learn the heritage. The heritage. What does heritage mean? Heritage means where does it come from, right? In English, we call that the etymology, or any language. Etymology means the study of the language, the history of that language. Where does that language come from? And how did those words change over time? What did they mean in the beginning? Right? That's called etymology. It's the study of the history of words. Okay? And English has a really interesting history of words. About 60% of English comes from Greek or Latin. Okay, so many, many words in English come from Greek or Latin. 30% come from French, 20% come from German. We also have a lot of words from Norse. We have a lot of words from Arabic, from Hindi, from Persian. We have some words from Chinese and from Japanese, from Italian, from Spanish. Okay, so give me a word and I'll tell you where it's from. Give me any word and I'll tell you where it's from. English is just a tool. We don't need to be like native speakers. English is a tool, but it's a tool that's different for everybody. It's a tool that's different for everybody. So, for some people, you only need a basic level. But if maybe you want to be a professor, then you don't need a basic level. You need an advanced level. Cafe comes from French. Condition comes from Latin, I believe. Let me check on that. Carpe diem is Latin. That means seize the day. Let's see. Let me check on condition. I'm pretty sure it's Latin because it has the con and the tion on it. Condition comes from the Old French condition and from the Latin conditionum, which means agreement or stipulation. Yeah, so that one's from Latin. Next one, flowers. I did remember flowers. Flower comes from, well, fleur from the French, right? But before that, it was from Latin, florum. So again, I told you 60% are from Latin or Greek, so a bunch of those are Latin or Greek. Okay? I started studying this when I was like 15. Deja vu is French. That's French. And again, there are a lot of French words in English. Restaurant, that's French. Ennui, that's French. Deja vu, that's French. Nostalgia, I'm pretty sure that was French, but it actually could be Latin also. I think. Yeah. Attitude, I think, is also Latin. Let me check. Yeah, Latin. The French word attitude, then the attitudine, and then before that it was attitudinem. Yeah. Show my face. That's my face. This thing here, that's my face. What are the Arabic words that are used in English? There are a bunch of them. Let me show you my list. I have a whole list here. The word alcohol, the word algebra, the word algorithm, almanac, alcove, all of those al words. A lot of the al words come from Arabic. Of course they do, right? The word coffee technically comes from Arabic, although they were talking about a city in Ethiopia at the time. Let's see. Oh, the word hazard. A hazard is something dangerous. That comes from Arabic. Satin, magazine, gazelle, cotton, sofa, sugar, all of those are from Arabic. Excuse me. It's an interesting game to memorize the words. It is an interesting game not to memorize the words, Rose. See, you don't need to memorize them this way. Most of the time when you learn vocabulary, you memorize, which means you're just trying to remember. It's boring and hard because it's so boring you can't remember, right? It's so boring. That's memorizing. Etymology, a lot of times, many words have really interesting stories about them. And if it's an interesting story, it's easy to remember. You don't have to try. Cliché is French. A lot of the words at the end that have E at the end, that's French, especially if it ends with an E, but pronounced like café or cliché, those are all French. Yeah. Rishab, you didn't hurt me, Rishab, and I wasn't trying to hurt you, and I'm sorry if you feel hurt, but I want to make you feel better, okay? You said you've been practicing English for 3 years, and you said my level is like a beginner. That's about right. That's about right, Rishab. Let me explain, Rishab. You're from India. If I told you, Rishab, tomorrow, if I started playing the sitar tomorrow, the sitar is an instrument from India. If I started playing the sitar tomorrow, do you think I would be a master in 3 years? Can I be a master of the sitar in 3 years? A master. Think about who's a master, and you're comparing me to them. So, a band 7 or a band 8, that's like a master of English. If you have a band 7, that's a pretty high level. Okay? So, yeah, maybe 8, 10 years or more, right? Guess what? I'm a musician. I know this. I've been playing the drums since I was a boy. All right? I've been playing the drums for most of my life. All right? And I can tell you that, guess what? I am not a master. I will play the drums for my entire life, and I will still not finish. Okay? Language is like that. Language is like that. Okay? Nobody is a master of English in 3 years. No one is a master of piano in 3 years. No one is a master of anything in 3 years. You're comparing someone who's been doing it their whole life, maybe 50 years, with someone who did it for 3? No. No, they're not the same. That's not a master. That's a beginner still. Okay? So, 3 years of anything is a beginner. Okay? If you learn the drums for 3 years, you're a beginner. If you learn gardening for 3 years, cooking for 3 years, you're a beginner. Okay? But you came to the right place, Rishab. All right? I promise you, there is a good reason why so many people follow me here. Because I have ideas and tips that you have not heard yet. Words that you didn't hear. Advice you don't know. That's why they come here. Okay? Not a lot of words are from Arabic. More than you think, Muhammad. Muhammad, there are a lot of words that come from Arabic and Persian, right? Because there's a relationship between Arabic and Persian that goes back a long time too, right? So some words, maybe they say, well, that word is Arabic, but it also could be Persian because it's, it depends on where you look or what year you're talking about, right? So yeah, but there are more than you think. There are a lot more words in the English language from Arabic than you think. Okay? How many languages do I know? I know English and I can speak Chinese. Okay? But I'm still working on my Chinese. Here, this will make you feel better. This will make you feel better, Rishab. I have been learning Chinese since 2000. I'll say 2010. I have been learning Chinese since 2010, and I still think that I'm maybe intermediate. Maybe. Okay? Maybe intermediate level after 15 plus years. Okay? So, does that make you feel better? Now, I also know a little bit about a bunch of other languages, all right? So I can speak maybe 10 words in about 12 or 15 languages, okay? I know a few words in Arabic and in French and German and Italian and Spanish and Japanese and Portuguese and Slovak and Russian and Latin and like just a few words though, right? Like Arabic, I can say Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam, shukran, afwan, Na'am, la, Insha'Allah, Alhamdulillah. I can say a few words. That's it. That's not hard. Okay? That's not hard. What about Indian language, Hindi? I can say namaste. I try to at least learn hello, in as many languages as I can. Hello. I'm glad you can sleep properly, and I hope you feel better now. Because like I said, man, you've been doing English for 3 years, and you feel bad. I've been doing Chinese for 15 years, and I'm still an intermediate level. And I work hard. Okay? What do I think about the movie Whiplash? It's terrible. Every real drummer hates that movie. It's not at all like that in real life, unfortunately. It's a good movie. It's not real at all, though. Every drummer's like, what? Urdu? I don't think I don't think I know anything in Urdu. Nope, don't know anything about in Urdu. I speak Chinese, but I'm not like perfect. What I tell people is I speak really bad Chinese really well. I speak really bad Chinese really well. Gayla says, I'm not a serious learner. You don't think I'm a serious learner? Okay. All right. I'm a pretty serious learner. I don't know. Most of my friends who know me, none of them want to study with me because they all know that I do a lot more than they do. I'm obsessive. So I don't know. I'm a pretty serious student. But I haven't been seriously studying in like 5 years. For the last 5 years, my Chinese studying has mostly just been trying to practically use it, right? To make it live in my head and feel comfortable using it. I haven't been working on my writing or my reading. I haven't really been building my vocabulary actively. I've been passively building it. Like, I hear words all the time and then I learn them, but I don't go out of my way to learn them. Can I speak Russian? I can speak a few words, da, нет, что, до свидания, a few words. What's the other one? Pavlushta. I think something like that, Pavlushta. And Chinese is hard, by the way, I will say. Chinese is hard. So I don't feel bad about 16 years at all. I don't feel bad at all because it's hard. It's super hard. That's why most people don't do it. Hello, Vicky. How are you? If you guys are new, oh, look at that. It's just about time for me to go. So here is my YouTube channel. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, you can. Here is my website, and here is my blog. You should go there and check them out. On my YouTube channel, every live stream I do here is on my YouTube channel. So maybe I said something today that you want to hear again. Go to my YouTube channel and you can watch it again and take notes. Okay? There are hundreds of videos like this. Okay? Hundreds of videos where I ask questions, or I should say, where I answer questions, where you ask questions and I answer questions. Okay? Hundreds of them. And my website, if you go to my website, if you want to buy lessons from me, if you want private lessons, you can buy them from me on my website. On my website, Also, you can study English for free. Let me show you. Where's my website? What's the purpose of these links? The purpose is to help you. That's what the purpose is. This is my website here. Okay? And on my website over here, yes, that's if you want to buy lessons, that's where you do it, over here. But you can also go up here, and on this part up here, you have my blog. You can go to my blog and read the articles that I have written for you about English. Or click resources. And if you click resources, look at that. Teacher Mark's top English resources. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, IELTS, TOEFL, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. All of these things are here. So look, if you want to work on grammar, click on grammar. Okay? And look, there's gamestololearnenglish.com. That's a website to practice your grammar. BBC English Grammar. That's a website to work on your grammar. Dave's English Cafe Grammar. That's a website for grammar. LO English Grammar. Wyzant English Grammar. Look at all the grammar I found for you. Okay? Free. All free. All free. Okay? If you want to work on your IELTS or your TOEFL, go here. Look, IELTS Advantage, IELTS Speaking Simulator, British Council, IELTS, IELTS Practice Tests. Okay? Look at that. All these things for you. Okay? And yes, that's all free. You have to subscribe. You have to subscribe to my website with an email. But that's it. All right? And I also have a blog. And my blog is right here. And my blog has all of my best answers as a teacher. So if you want to know how to learn vocabulary, go read my blog. There's an article. If you want to know how to think in English, go read my blog. There's an article. If you want to know about the 8 parts of language, go read my blog. There's an article. Okay? Vicky, you're so nice. Is Arabic or Chinese more hard in my opinion? I can't say that. I'm not sure, Rose, because I've not studied Arabic enough to make that judgment. I think that it's possible that it's similar because as an American and a native English speaker, to learn Chinese, you have to learn a new writing system, a new reading system, a new listening system, and a new speaking system. Same thing with Arabic. Right? So I think they both could be very difficult. I'm not sure which one might be harder. And I think, in general, it's always personal. Somebody might think Chinese is really easy. And they could be right for them. Okay? What time am I here every day? So today, I have been here for about an hour and a half. It's been an hour and 35 minutes. Okay? And so that means I started, 9:30? About somewhere around that time. I usually start somewhere between 9:30 and 10:30 in the morning, my time. You have to figure out what time that is in your world. I don't know every time zone, okay? If I live in the United States, I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's the same time as New York City. So, if you live in Beijing, if you're in China, if I'm here at 9:30 a.m., that's 10:30 p.m. in China. At least right now. It's 13 hours different. Okay? And I'm usually here Monday through Friday, but some days I'm busy, some days I'm tired, some days I'm in a bad mood and I don't want to turn on the camera. So, I'm usually here though. Okay? Hello, Majda. What's the difference between efficiency and effectiveness? Let me think about my words here for a moment. So, effective is about the effect, right? Did it have the right effect, right? You're trying to do this. Did it do it? Was it effective? All right. So you are trying to, you have a student who is trying to pass a test, and you used a new technique, a new method to help them. Did it help them or not? Did they pass the test? If they passed the test, then that method was effective. It had the right effect. Okay? Efficient is about some sort of act that you're doing that you want to do with the least amount of effort or energy, right? So it's about trying to do movements or actions with the most efficiency, meaning the least amount of work, the least amount of energy required. That's efficient. So, for example, a car, right? There are two cars, and one car, let's say this is a truck, right? So this truck gets only 20 miles per the gallon, right? We'll say 20 kilometers per gallon. Okay, that's the truck. Oh, but the car gets 60 miles per gallon. So it has a much more efficient engine. It is much more efficient. Okay? That's right. Doing actions with the least amount of energy would be efficiency. Okay? Yeah, effective is just about, did it work or not? If it didn't work, then it wasn't effective. If it did work, then it was effective. So that's an effective method. That's an effective technique. That means it does work. Okay? Efficient is, ooh, wow, that works and that saves us money, or that saves us energy. Okay? If it saves you something because it's using the least that it can use, then that's efficient. Okay? Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. Okay, guys, guess what? My voice is getting kind of worn out. My voice is a bit worn out, so I'm going to get going here. I've been here for an hour and 40 minutes. So today is Friday, everybody. Today is Friday, so that means that I usually am not here now on the weekends, on Saturday and on Sunday. Sunday is my family day, and Saturday is my work day for me. Like, I need to do my own work, writing my book and my blog and working on my whatever, all the things I need to do. So I will not be here tomorrow or Sunday, but I should be back on Monday. So you should come back and see me then. And hello over on my YouTube, Nguyen Chung. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope I can come to Vietnam someday. And thank you very much, Miguel. Good to see you again too, my friend. Please come back and see me on Monday. One more time, I'll just give you, here's my YouTube channel, here is my website, and here is my blog. Okay? If you want to follow them, great. If you don't, fine. All right? It's not going to make me cry. All right? Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. I'll see you next time. Bye.